you have the Varus, right? You have ranges are quite hard. The Azir can be pretty problematic to deal with. Bro really need to close the distance with that composition, and they definitely have tools to do so, but I think both compositions interact in different ways, and it really comes down to the execution.
Is getting so much value out of this Ignite, keeping it on cooldown. You love to see it. Sklows are not going to be worried about being put in the kennel.
And it just feels like constantly Bro had the pressure in this matchup.
Well, the flash forward from Quantum, the cleanse flash to get Hype out of there, and Polo is just chasing Berserker down. First blood, and Polo is taking matters into his own hands, picks up a double on the Nautilus. Oh man, and we have been critical of Polo. Not today.
Gold isn't useless, but it's on the support.
You can also transfer that gold better in the early game, like you're saying, but it will take Polo having to get out there, make stuff happen. Great interrupt there from Morgan onto Dudu, but Dudu not really too worried about it. He's so not going to be diving on in with any blast cones or anything like that. Croco just going to let this dragon go. Not too worried about a singular ocean this time around, as nice stun out from Morgan. Does get knocked up by the Q. There is the Soul Furnace as well, doing a lot of work, as Morgan gets hit by another Q there as well. So the Scion doing a pretty good job here in this top lane. And now let's see what Hype can do. Quantum with the Magnet Storms, pretty good, but another cleanse does come out. There's the double knockup, but Pyosik is going to come in, and Polo, I don't think he's going to make anything happen here. He is just going to be taken down. There's a kill on the board for DNF.
He will shred basically anyone.
Oh, you've got Pyosik and Bulldog just beating down this turret. That is just gone. Really nicely played. The Nature's Grasp is going to come through for the attempted punish. But there's the Sun Disc going to be put up as Empress Divide comes down. Bulldog still not out of the woods just yet, as the depth charge is going to lock him up. And they've taken one kill. Croco looking a bit worse for wear though, as Morgan sidesteps the Q. And there's a nice double knock off. The ulti to follow there from Closer. Looking fantastic on the Yone this time as he flashes towards Dudu. He does get knocked up, but he's still pretty tanky on this Scion. Another Q going to connect, but the Soul Furnace is going to be back as Pyosik going to be flashing away. Hype flashes forward to get the kill on to the Trundle. The Arc of Ruin there does a fair bit of work towards Berserker, but he is safe under the turret. A big win for the Bros as they lock down the feats of warfare and grab so many extra kills.
Huge overcommit there from DNF onto the tower.
Has to really deal with a Slurkle as a result. And now Dudu making his way in. DNF committing to this fight, but Dudu off to the side, does charge the Q, but doesn't get the knock-up onto Closer, is now Hype doing so much work. As Quantum down to 50%, Morgan dives in and will be able to stun up the Rel. Hook connects onto Pyosik, Empress Divide is decent as Morgan will be going down, but it's a double for Closer on the back end of the fight, and Hype is still there, laying down the damage. Closer looking for even more, but I think he'll have to go back to that soul pretty soon. And Dudu will survive, but still a massive win for the Bros once again.
Such good team fighting there from the Bros. They split off DNF. They did just great execution, and Closer finding a fantastic angle. This is definitely the redemption he needed for that on that Yone.
Exactly right. That three-man ulti just magnificent out of this guy, and I think it's a really good day. This one isn't, you know, worth losing the game over. So
there'll be other dragons to lose the game over. Don't you worry.
Exactly. As Berserker going to get slurkled, but otherwise not too worried. And that is just the Drake going down.
And Lamb poke. But I feel like with Bro having control, DNF are going to have to push in constantly, and it exposes you to flanks, it exposes you to walking into saplings, things like that. And it's just not a really comfortable position to be in. You can see Bro already setting up on this top side of the map.
And that's 2 items on Croco as well, and he did not stop building damage.
Yeah.
As Morgan also, he's hit too, as the Spirit Surgeon does come in. Hook going to go wide here from Polo. Kind of crazy that the hitbox didn't quite work out there, as somehow it's a double snare from the Nature's Grasp. Polo going to have to flash away because that one is not really what he wanted. Hype able to dash out of the Scion ulti.
When you're really thinking about it, especially into a Trundle, and that's a bit of a window for DNF. If they find like a Varusol onto one of them, a pick like that can really make such a big difference.
Yep, sometimes you just want to hit something, and that's precisely what he's going to do. And now DNF 5 strong here in the mid lane as Polu looking for a bit of a hook angle, finds a minion. That's not exactly what he wants as the Nature's Grasp comes down. Bulldog just out of position as Morgan is chasing after him, doesn't find the dice as there is the hook combo out from Polu onto Pioshik as the exhaust does come through. Dudu the first one to fall, and the front line is now missing for DNF. The Bros, I think they got what they wanted as they now look to push out the mid lane.
So really nice flank from him there. Now, Bro have control over the area. DNF are TP and Dudu in to try and contest.
Yep, Quantum looking for a bit of an angle here. As you can see, it's slightly split for the Bros. Once again, a flank angle for Morgan, but it is going to get watched out for as there's the exhaust onto Closer. Not really a full commit here as Dudu just taking a lot of free damage for the moment. Another double knockup from the Q, and the instant ulti from Closer just says good night. The interrupt! This guy's Yone today is just something else as Hype is looking to keep them at bay. That is soul point for the Bros. I didn't even think he needed to do that. It was already good enough.
And yet he did, you know, just rubbing it in, establishing that he's on form right now today. They'll get the Dragon, they'll get the Baron, they'll get the Atakan. And it's looking like they're going to get the game one as well. Yeah, 7-0-2 right now on the Yone.
I said it wrong before because I was like, oh, it should be Atakan into Baron into game over. But no, it was Dragon into Baron into Atakan and then game over. As now it is a 7.5k gold lead. And let's have a look at it from Closer's perspective yet again. The double knock up, the ulti, instant just death of the front line. And then, like, this did not need to happen, but it was so beautifully done.
Closing the side lane. You can see DNF moving.
Yeah.
Hard to pin down a Yone, though.
We're going to try and catch him as the ulti gets Closer out of there. That has been deadly in these fights, though, so a big cooldown to now be used up. Still, the Bros get a lot out of it. They take down this mid outer turret finally, as the Blast Cone is going to evacuate Quantum and Pioshik. I think this was a poor financial decision.
But it did look cool.
It certainly did. As this inner turret will stay alive for the moment. Berserker and Bulldog going to be able to save that. But Morgan up there by himself, taking the inner turret in the top lane this whole time. Hype getting to work on this one. They've got so much damage when they do decide to go in here. They don't want Pioshik with any chance of making this happen, and he doesn't. They just burst it down. The ulti from Closer, but it's mitigated by that Zhonya's. But that arcane smash was so good. Arcaroon comes down as well. Now it's Hype's time to shine. Gets on top, but actually Berserker shuts down the Inara just for a couple of seconds before Closer says, no, this is the decade of Closer, and I am sorry, but you are not winning this team fight. Yeah, Pioshik not going to be getting out of this one either.
Keep running, bro.
Yeah,
don't stop. Don't stop.
It is some defecting time here for the Trundle, who decides to sit in
You're not going to be able to make it. No, just keep running.
Well, he might actually...
No.
He's not going to. But still, I mean, he hasn't been touched by the Maokai yet. So that is going to be an execute. And down goes Pioshik.
Strong.
He is quite a big boy. They also have Infernal Soul, as you mentioned before. That was going to be problematic, and that is going to continue to be so. As the Baron has spawned and now it's dead. 0-0-12 Maokai. As Closer not too worried about Sion and Pioshik.
The reason I don't think the saplings will matter much is because you have to leave your base to walk in brushes. And I don't think that's happening.
Dudu, I don't think he's getting out of this one either. The Unstoppable Onslaught is feeling a bit stoppable here. Is the ulti going to collect two of them? Immediate snapback there from Closer, though, who did not want to use up that GA just yet. And the Sion does go down. Nothing Dudu can really do here, unfortunately, even though he is Dudu. My goodness, Hype doing so much work, but Berserker's actually, really starting to hurt.
Hey,
now's the time, DNF. Make it happen, as the nature is grasping, and I'm grasping at straws as far as trying to explain that there is a way out here for DNF. It's looking real rough as down this one goes. There's the flash hook out Apollo as well, as Pioshik nowhere to go, and he will just be wiped out. Hype doing so much damage in this fight. This Lurk will connect, and the answer is immediate there from Closer. And look at these autos from Hype. He is untouched. Empress Divide, though, will be able to find him down to the GA. Is this Yunara? But that is a zombie Scion that's just going to get wiped out. The knock-up onto Berserker as well, as he is relegated to the fountain. No comeback this time, as the Bros put DNF down here in Game 1.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.